Today's talk will help you not only find your true I, it will help you experience it as your very own self. So, we're going to be talking about a necessary shift in worldview, how you see your experience and relate to it, that needs to take place in order for you to really experience yourself as you are. First, I'm going to share with you the old worldview, how we see the world before the spiritual teachings come into our life. And then I'm going to share with you the new way of seeing your experience that will unlock all spiritual insights. So, really excited to share today's talk. It is one with brand new visuals that I think will help you see this teaching so much more clearly. So, enjoy the talk. Here it goes. So, this is our worldview when we begin our journey. As you know, self inquiry is a discernment between the subject and an object, right? The subject, which is the unchanging self, and the object, which are all the experiences that you see. So when we just begin our spiritual journey, this is our worldview. You think that the experience you are aware of, the object, is the changing world that you think is outside of you. Or my experiences, my circumstances, what the world looks like, all the things that are happening in the world. That is what is portrayed here. This field of experience that you see, that is changing. These arrows represent change. They come and go. We think when we just begin our journey, our worldview is that what's outside of me, what I see, hear, taste, touch, smell, what I know as the world, circumstances, situations, they come and go, they change. And I am this body mind that is aware of this change. This is how we view, like, if you take a moment, even right now, you feel you are a body sitting here, aware of this meeting happening. It's like this becomes the point of view through which you live. Because this is the point of view through which you live, you feel that you are this body. You feel I is this. You feel awareness is the body's awareness. And take a look over here. These little waves, they represent feelings, emotion. When these feelings happen, you think they are also you, right? We say, I am angry, I am sad, I am frustrated, I am confused. These waves of emotion that arise and subside, we also take to be part of myself. I am these things. It's a very heavy position to take on, to be honest. That's why we suffer so much and it feels like so exhausting. These little bubbles here, these thought bubbles, these are the thoughts, which in our worldview, the brain is doing the thoughts, the brain is doing awareness. In this worldview, when we just start, we think that thinking is awareness in a way. We don't know the difference between being aware and thinking. We think to be aware means to think, right? That famous quote, I think, therefore I am. We think amness is an attribute of thinking, or like thinking is the root of knowing. We don't know the difference between attention and thought, knowing and thinking, observing or describing. So we take the body, this field of emotion, feelings, and thinking all as like a package deal, that is I, right? This pretty accurately describes our worldview. We keep calling ourselves I. We keep thinking of ourselves as a continuous thing because we feel that continuity, that sameness. You always feel you are the same self, but you keep attributing that sameness to something that is changeful, to what is not essentially self. That's why there's all sorts of misunderstandings, ignorance, on behalf of which there's a lot of suffering. We attribute being, we attribute selfhood, identity to things which change. So this is actually an incorrect worldview. From a worldly sense, this will get you by your entire lifetime. You don't need to do any spirituality to live in the world. Like this is the worldly worldview. And you can have a job, you can live a whole life in this worldview. You do not need to transcend this worldview. It's not necessarily convenient. It's much more convenient actually to live in this worldview from the person's point of view. You believe the same things as other people. You know, like this is the worldview that sort of makes sense from the personal point of view. This is the worldview that's convenient to keep wanting the things society wants you to want, value what society wants you to value, believe of yourself what is convenient for the world, for you to believe. But this worldview ultimately doesn't work, um, meaning it's not rooted in truth, and it creates endless suffering. And that endless suffering is what ultimately has made us ready to transcend this worldview, made us ready for spiritual practice. The coming of the spiritual teachings into your life was that readiness of transcendence of this worldview. As you do your spiritual practice, what we are doing is we are transcending this worldview. We're learning to see things as they really are, as opposed to how we are conditioned to believe things are, as we are conditioned to believe what I am, what life is. That's why you see meditation does not happen at the level of thought. Thinking is your worldview, thinking within the confines of itself. You do not think. Your worldview thinks. And that's why it doesn't understand the teaching, because the teaching is so outside the confines of that worldview. That's why thinking cannot help you in meditation. We actually step our attention, our knowing out of thinking. Because when thinking is no longer reinforcing all these ideas about what life is, about who I am, we come to know life as it really is. So look, this is how you feel even right now. And you are here. You are the body. You are this process of thinking, feeling, and you, the body, are aware of our meeting that is happening. This experience of this meeting you think is outside of you, but you think you're the body. And this experience of this meeting has come to you, the body. Look, that's us right there. This worldview is not true. It's not just this experience of the meeting that is passing, and you, the body, are a separate, real, stable, continuous thing that is going from this experience to the next experience. Body is not I. And the mind that keeps arguing how the body is I, how could it not be I, that mind is also not I. You're the thinking that doesn't understand this or has endless questions about it, that thinking is not I. Why do you care so much about it? Why do we keep identifying with it, taking it so seriously? If you take thinking to be you, you will care about what it says. If you care about what it says, you cannot meditate. Then you are bound to thinking and all the concepts that it projects about reality. Concepts are a prison, root of ignorance, unreality. Thinking will keep you feeling you are the body and you are having this experience, that the experience is changing, but you, the person, are some sort of solid, continuous thing. It's not true. To discover our true nature, you have to step out of thought. You have to stop taking thoughts so seriously, and you have to stop taking thoughts to be you. Please practice that throughout this talk. Don't wait. It again, it's not you who thinks. You are not thinking. Thinking is happening. The worldview is thinking, projecting ideas about how that worldview is correct. More on that in a moment. So, what is a helpful worldview to practice? Or what is a helpful way to look at your own meditation practice that makes things a lot simpler? Because if you keep practicing from this worldview and thinking again and again about this, how this is the truth, like this, it remains very difficult. So let's discover the new view, the way to see your experience. You can try to see your experience in this way, and it will also be more and more realized in meditation. And also, as you see this more and more so in meditation, it will not need to be practiced so much. Like this worldview is not something you practice as a belief. It just is how you start to see things really are. Once again, you can believe only untruth. Truth does not need to be believed in. Truth is evident. This visual and this talk and these teachings, they just help us to see the truth, help us to see things as they really are. For that, we feel practice is needed. But as we start to discover, understand, realize, and see things as they really are, then it's just evident. It's not a belief. It's actually, you can take all your thoughts away about it, and that's how they are. So what's the main difference between this and the previous? As you see here, previously the body was I. The body, the thoughts, the feelings, that was I, that was the subject. And this experience that you're having, this room you're sitting in, this world you're seeing, that is the object. That is the experience. Now, the body and the mind, thought and emotion, are also objects. You are recognizing that even these are changeful experiences. The body that is here in this experience, the thinking that is arising in this experience, the feelings that may be present, these are all part of the changeful image that has arisen right now and will pass. You are not here as a body. You are not present as a body. The body is here, it's appearing, but you are not the body. You are not present or aware as a body. You are aware, fact. Body is appearing, fact. You are a body, that is a thought made assumption. Once again, feel into this. You are here. You are aware. You are fact. Okay, that's a fact. The experience of the body is appearing. That is also a fact. You are here as a body. You are aware as a body. That is a thought made idea. Discard that idea. Don't step into ideas and explore your here-ness. Explore your presence, your awareness, your knowingness. When I say your, I do not mean you, the body. Once again, recognize the moment the word you is spoken, you think an idea of who you, what your face is, what your name is. You think of an idea of the person you take yourself to be. But that is what we are exposing here. That is a thought. That's not actually self. That image of your face is not what is aware and here. That image is a thought also in your knowing, or in simply knowing, in awareness. I is the only thing here that is not an experience, meaning it is not an object. It doesn't have any experienceable quality, such as it is a this or a that. It is, I am that which is aware, but you are not a body, you are not a mind, you are not a sound, you're not a taste, you're not a smell, you're not a feeling. All these things are the experience that is currently appearing. So previously, you thought this was outside of you and that this is you. And maybe the thoughts and feelings are inside of you, but they're also you. That's just what we think. Now you are bringing thinking, feeling, and the body also into your knowing. You are recognizing the body is seen. It's not the seer. The mind is seen. It is not the seer. Emotions, feelings, they are seen. They are not the seer. Thoughts are perceived experiences. They are not self. Person is a perceived experience. Just like right outside of the body, you are having this meeting. You're in this room and you are watching a meeting as a body. But the body that is watching, hearing, sitting, is also part of the experience currently appearing. The thoughts that are arising saying, I get this or I don't, I like this or I don't, this, that, are not the self. They are also part of the field of experience currently appearing. It all changes. It all appears and disappears like images on a movie screen. The screen is not any of the images. The screen remains unchanged no matter how many images and what's the nature of those images. Good, bad, right, wrong, this, that, whatever. Those concepts do not apply to the screen. How do we recognize our true nature? Discern between your unchanging self that is without form. Please know this to be true about the self. You here and now, regardless of if you're brand new to this or you've been practicing this for years, you here and now, you do not have a form. You here and now, that which is aware of these words right now is not person. It is not the body. It is not confused. You are without form, without desire, without judgment, without name, without face. No shape applies to you. No definition applies to you. Discern between yourself and experiences which come and go. Experiences which come and go are not you. My friend, that includes the body. That includes everything you have taken yourself to be up until this point. Stop giving selfhood to thoughts, emotions, body, senses. Unmix I from all of these things. You don't have to kill the body. You don't have to hurt the body. You don't have to get rid of the mind. There's nothing wrong with them appearing, and there's nothing even wrong with them appearing to be you. You, the earnest spiritual seeker, are not trying to change appearances or fight appearances. You're learning to see through them. Discern between what you are and what you are not, and be as you are. When you are present as what you are. When you are present, you are being yourself. When you are aware without thought, you are being self. You do not know yourself as an experience. You know yourself as awareness, existence. Thoughts think about what awareness is. Thoughts think about what exists. This is not about thinking. Be that which is. Be aware of being. Know your knowing. Knowing is not an experience to be known. Don't look for it as a thought, as a sound. Recognize the knowing which is already here. Be that knowing. Do not step into any thoughts which are trying to describe what you're doing, whether it's going well, whether you're doing it right. I don't care about what thought says about knowing, whether it feels lovely to you or it feels like a cold, dark, empty place. Those are your descriptions. It's not any of those things. Be dead to those descriptions. Do not care about them. Do not take them seriously. Do not step into or pursue them. The moment you find the mind describing, recognize the knowing of even the thinking that is arising and just return to simply being that knowing, empty of thinking. Trust your most intimate experience of yourself. What is more intimate, the body or awareness, knowing, being? What is more intimate, thinking, feeling, or awareness, knowing, being? Be what you most intimately are. Throughout what you call this lifetime, the body has changed endlessly. You do not need anyone to tell you this. You already know this. Has knowing ever changed? Has being, existence, which you feel as I, ever changed? When you take I, your sense of existence, being, knowing, to be person, that is ego. When you strip I from all ideas of person, it is the presence of self. Cleanse awareness of thoughts. Let the body appear to be you, but do not actually believe it to be self. Keep recognizing how much the body changes. Recognize that the body is a perceived experience, it is not self. Okay. Feel free to relax. Thank you for watching. I hope that resonated. If it did, practice earnestly. If you need help with your practice, join our free self inquiry community. Tons of resources there, and you can connect with fellow seekers of truth who are practicing the same teachings as you. So I'll link that down below. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you next time.